I waited on the corner of a Brooklyn street with my friend in the freezing cold when I have work in the morning and worked all day, had not slept, to not get a bear cup. So I feel so defeated and I feel so weird and I feel so upset over this bear cup.
This is what millions of people are fighting for. A cup that can't even fit in a cup holder. Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Initially, I was going to talk about this whole Starbucks bear cup from a very high moral horse, but I want to come down from that and find some level of understanding as to why there is so much desperation to buy a cup that is clearly overpriced. So if you're interested in a topic like this, and without talking too much, then let's get right into it. It all started with this seemingly casual video. People saw it, became obsessed instantly, and grown adults literally became feral. Not once in this video do I see a child or a teenager. These are all grown men and women. And if you pay attention to how they're dressed, most of them are in their pajamas. As if it wasn't bad enough that people are fighting over a cup, you have people waking up at 5 a.m., 4 a.m., 2 a.m. just so that they can camp outside and be the first ones there when the store opens.
I can't believe my husband actually did this. He got up at 4 a.m. to go get the viral bear cup from Starbucks.
So guys, right now I am outside of our local Starbucks. I am determined to get me and my wife the bear, the viral bear that's been going around. I'm gonna get that. Anyways guys, I'm literally the only car here. Well, there's 3 cars, but there's 3 workers in there. And I feel like a creep. I feel like a freaking weirdo, like a stalker. I can't believe people really do this. They camp out, but I'm gonna do it this one time.
They didn't have it, so I'm gonna go to another Starbucks and try.
2 Starbucks later.
Hi. Hi. 7:45. We've been out here since 5:30. Waiting for the bear cup. Been here for almost 2.5 hours. But we're getting it 3 stops later. I went to 3 Targets, 3 this morning, and none of them had them. So I see them on the shelf in there, and we're gonna get them. Good morning.
I'm sure you're looking at this and thinking, this seems awfully familiar. And you might be reminded of the frenzy that came with the Stanley cups. But I want you to cast your mind all the way back and try to remember the chaos, the frenzy, and the panic that came along with Black Friday. The same fanatic behavior that people are exhibiting now is not anything new. The only difference I would say is that before, when it came to Black Friday sales, at least you're getting things like a TV, a new couch, home decor, and clothes at a discounted price. But when it comes to the items that people are going crazy over, like a Stanley cup and a Starbucks bear cup, I'm struggling to see the value in it. Apart from people wanting something that's cute and trending, what other reason is there for people to go so crazy to get these cups? It can't be just because of social capital. And like I mentioned, it's not because it's something valuable. So why are grown adults fighting each other, arguing, shoving, and pushing each other just to get their hands on this item? Behavior wasn't bad enough. You now have people turning their anger towards Starbucks employees. The employees don't control the number of cups that come to an individual store. That is the main corporation that is making that decision. But people just don't seem to understand that and are calling the store constantly asking for these cups as if the employees can just look in their bag and bring it out.
Stop calling, we do not have it. My God. No!
For merchandise, say 1. They have trust issues. 1. If you're calling about the glass teddy bear, we are sold out. If you're calling about the Hello Kitty plush bear, we are sold out.
The demand is clearly high for these cups, yet Starbucks is only giving out a limited quantity.
Guys, literally I'm making this quick video. Don't go to Starbucks looking for the bear cup because we sold out at 5 a.m. on the dot and we only got like 3. So sorry.
And something that always happens when demand is high but the supply is low is that you have a rise in resellers. People see this as an opportunity to make money, so they are willing to camp out, buy these cups, and sell it 100 times more than its cost. Now, I don't know the reason why some employees are deciding to buy these cups for themselves, especially when they see customers waiting in line, but whether they're buying it because they like it and they just want to have it for themselves, or they're buying it so that they can resell it for a profit, can you honestly blame them?
Storytime if I waited outside for hours for the new Starbucks Christmas bear cup, but the employees took them all before we could even get them. Here I am arriving to my local Kroger, which actually has a Starbucks store inside of it, around 2 a.m. And this is when I got nervous because there was already about 6 people in front of me and the store said that they only had 6 cups. So I knew I was already in a little bit of a pickle, but I decided to wait it out. Here it is at 6 a.m. They broke the doors open, didn't even wait for the employees, and they started sprinting to check out those bear cups. But little did they know what we were in for. I believe some of the people in front of me got there like even earlier, so I can't only even imagine. But here's the Starbucks, and if you look there, you can already see employees, including Kroger employees, checking out the cups before we could even get them after we waited in line for them. So I mean, I wasn't that mad, but the people in front of me, they were pissed. They still had a bunch of like the Hello Kitty stuff and the other Christmas mugs, but I was there for the bear cup and the bear cup only. Here's the Hello Kitty stuff in case you were interested in that. They had plenty of it. But unfortunately, I did not walk out with a bear cup and walked out empty-handed. Thanks a lot, Starbucks.
We were first in line at Starbucks and the employees literally snatched the bear cup in front of our eyes. We didn't even sleep. I was gonna say we woke up, but we didn't sleep. We literally went and arrived at Starbucks at 4 a.m. and we, like, nobody was there first in line, like not even a single car.
We have video footage of all of these
literally
shenanigans.
If you
I didn't sleep last night.
I know, but if you didn't get your like shipment in, right? I mean, it's not the workers' fault, but we saw it and then they took it. Like, what?
Yeah,
that's crazy. Cool. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't be that mad if they beat us. Like, if they beat us,
if they were already there and they're like,
and they didn't have any, and
this morning.
Yeah,
no. It was sitting right there. I think that we just deserved the cup
what they did to us.
that we grinded for. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that was like, I know it's just a cup, but we wanted it, so that's why we did that.
I mean, it's not that deep. Okay, but I mean, come on, we know.
It's just a cup. I know it's a cup. I know.
We're sleep deprived.
So I have been obsessed with these bear cups since I saw them, and I was like, I need to get my hands on a bear cup. So I called every Starbucks that it was possible for me to drive to days before these things got released. I found one that was nowhere near I lived, but the manager said employees are not allowed to buy the bear cups or any of our holiday collection unless they are online with everyone else. So 5 minutes before the doors open, one of the workers opened the door and said, I'm just letting you guys know, like, I'm going to be buying the bear cups and the Hello Kitty plushes. So you might want to try another Starbucks, that we're wasting our time. I said, I've been here since 2:15 in the morning, which you knew, because when I watched you guys walked in to your shift, I told you as a joke, like, I've been here all night, proud, camping on the streets of Brooklyn, honestly scared for my life. I did have pepper spray in my hand. But he didn't care. He just closed the door. Didn't care. So I didn't get my bear cut. Moral of the story, I waited on the corner of a Brooklyn street with my friend in the freezing cold when I have work in the morning and worked all day, had not slept, to not get a bear cup. So I feel so defeated and I feel so weird and I feel so upset over this bear cup. So yeah, that's my story. I just feel like people should follow rules. So I'm gonna get Dunkin' tomorrow. I'm striking Starbucks. I still love the bear cup. I hate it, but I love it and I want it. But we didn't get mugged sleeping on the streets of Brooklyn, so I guess a win is a win.
Clearly, these cups make people happy. You can see it in their faces, you can see it with their enthusiasm, and the fact that they're willing to wait outside in the cold just to purchase them.
The bears, I've been here since 11 at night. So guys, I got all the bears. I came here early in the morning, so I'm very excited.
Waking up at 4 a.m. paid off this morning. It just tastes better out of a bear-shaped cup. Well, I brought my own cup.
But I think it would be too simple to just say that this is perfectly okay and a very normal thing to do. Because I don't think it is. The mania and the panic is excessive. And it makes me wonder if people are overcompensating for something. If they're searching for something deeper than just a cup. Are they looking for the holiday spirit? Are they looking for community? Are they looking for an activity? Or are people just trying to take their minds off of what's going on in the real world? Speaking of the real world, I want to segue into Mariah Carey. Around the time that the Starbucks cup was announced, Mariah Carey and Sephora did a collaboration. And this collaboration was in the form of a commercial. Now I can't play the full video because of copyright, but what got people offended is the fact that Mariah Carey, as this rich singer and celebrity, was talking down on a fictional elf and accusing the elf of stealing. And the elf said that the reason it stole in the first place was because it was overworked and could not afford therapy. And a lot of people were offended by this commercial because it felt like Mariah Carey and Sephora were looking down on regular people and everyday workers. And the entire ad came across as tone deaf and out of touch.
Oh no, Mariah, Christmas is canceled, and Sephora, this is one of the most tone-deaf advertisements we have seen in this entire year, and this includes the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle thing. At a time right now where 42 million Americans aren't able to put food on the table, people who are working for the federal government are not being paid, you want to post about Mariah saving Christmas. Well, how about Mariah actually do something about, saving Christmas? Or how about you, Sephora, okay? Why don't you step in and do something charitable instead of profitable for a change? And us at the Big Beautiful Boycott, well, stay tuned for what we have to say on this, because we are going to have a lot more to say on this later this week, if not this weekend. Stay tuned, everyone, because quite honestly, it's going to be a fun one to go after, and it's going to hurt because I am a Sephora girly. But you want to pull this crap with me? Oh, honey, no. You messed with the wrong MC.
I'm out. I was actually putting together some things here that I thought would make a good video for Sephora's VIB sale, because I was ready. I was ready. I was looking forward to this. I was really struggling internally if I was gonna make content about this. And then Sephora came through and answered my own question. I saw that commercial, if you can call it that. Yeah, that ad was tone deaf. Yeah, it was cringy, but above all else, that ad was fucking mean as shit. This is just so many things, but you know what? Doesn't matter. Done. I'm officially breaking up with Sephora like I broke up with Target. I'm never setting foot back in that store again. I'm done.
So the reason why I'm bringing up Mariah Carey and Sephora is because it's very interesting how the Sephora ad and the Bear Cup are running simultaneously. On one hand, you have people willing to spend $30 at Starbucks despite boycotting them earlier in the year.
As a quick refresher, in 2023, Starbucks filed a lawsuit against Starbucks Workers Union over social media posts expressing support for Palestine. In response, the union countersued. accusing the company of defamation for suggesting that the union members were supporting terrorism or violence.
Fast forward to today, over 90% of Starbucks Workers United members have decided to strike this upcoming Thursday, November 13th, which happens to be Red Cup Day, which is one of Starbucks' busiest days of the year.
And on the other hand, people are upset at Sephora for being tone deaf. I also have to bring up Beyonce and her merchandise because people are saying that Beyonce is also tone deaf for putting out expensive merchandise when people are struggling financially.
Beyonce, we don't have no money. We don't have no money. I'm here on behalf of the whole Beehive. We don't have no money. No money. So don't do that again.
But at the same time, people are spending $30 on a cup. It puts out very mixed messages. Do people have money or don't they? Are people upset or does it depend on what is being sold? I think if companies and corporations realize that people can be swayed by simple items, they will be less accountable to the consumer because clearly people pick and choose.
The Mariah Carey Sephora ad is a counter-marketing campaign. Now, over the past year, companies have been able to see exactly how effective boycotting can be. And with the whisper of a Christmas boycott on the horizon, you can bet your behind that Sephora and other large companies are going to try and come out ahead of this. One of the ways to try and dissuade a boycott is via counter-marketing campaigns on behalf of the companies that may be facing said boycott. Now, obviously, when people are faced with choosing healthcare, food, or luxury goods like cosmetics, they're going to be choosing healthcare and food. So, cosmetic companies would be easy targets for a boycott in the midst of a recession. Now, we also have to understand that marketing is very, very intentional. Even simple words like the and go through a multitude of passes before they even get approved to go to commercial. So everything within that commercial is highly intentional, including the elf having to steal luxury goods and pawn them to afford healthcare. The message the ad is stating is clear, that you cannot opt out of consuming for the holidays. You have to. And they leverage Mariah Carey in communicating this to us, in which she says, "Elf boy, you can't cancel Christmas." And then she shrieks and turns him into a snowman like an evil witch. And this is an interesting choice in a counter-marketing campaign. Usually, when a recession is on the horizon, counter-marketing might look something like, "Don't boycott us, we'll give you extra discounts so that you can afford our products even when economically strapped." Or it might say things like, "We're going to donate XYZ amount of dollars to food banks," and things like that. Sephora saying, "F you scrub, get good," is a fascinating approach, especially when you consider the history of makeup and luxury cosmetics, because luxury cosmetics is one of the few luxuries of the working class that will be kept even in the middle of a depression. Depressions usually signal a huge economic boom for cosmetics. So they're taking what should be a slam dunk and just throwing it in the garbage by saying F you to all of their working class consumers, especially by providing a working class caricature within the elf. Yeah, it's fascinating watching this choice from the Sephora marketing department. Anyway, looks like there's a new company to add to that list, isn't there?
I don't think Sephora had this master plan to piss people off. I think they were trying to be cheeky and lean into TikTok culture, and it just fell flat. And in that same breath, I don't think that Starbucks had this master plan to use these bear cups to have people go crazy and be lining up outside of their stores. Virality is something you can't predict, and I don't think they were able to predict this. Instead, I think as a company who has access to so many resources, they saw the success of limited drops like the Stanley Cup Valentine's Day collection, and of course, throwing it all the way back, Black Friday. They looked at all these things and intentionally put out an item that was limited in quantity, and it worked. They have multiple stores across the country, they are a recognizable brand, and people like to feel like they have something that other people want. They might not have planned this level of hype, but they definitely knew they had a recipe for success. I don't want to say that people fell for anything because I think this is very predictable. People are simple, and people repeat patterns. And with that being said, this does bring me to the end of my video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. These are just my thoughts, and I'd love to know yours down in the comment section below. Remember to like this video, it really helps with the algorithm, and if you enjoyed this one, then kindly check out some of my other videos and subscribe for more content on the way. Again, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully, I'll catch you in my next video.